right, so what's the first thing that comes to mind when you think of going to your local doctor's office or any general physicians for that matter? So the first thing for most of us is it's not a pleasant thought, okay? The reason it's not a pleasant thought is because so much wasted time is spent sitting in that waiting room, okay? That's why we created PocDoc. What we're going to do is it's an engaging online platform application that is going to show then what we have to offer. So we'll be able to connect you with daily activities.
Researchers at Harvard Medical School have concluded that the average doctor visit takes 84 minutes, 64 minutes of which you are waiting, and only 20 minutes of face-to-face time with physicians. Also, 23% of people say they delay seeing a doctor because it takes too long. Through our own interviews and personal experiences, we have concluded this to be accurate. Our application would strive to decrease these percentages through meaningful user engagement and repository data that will be easily accessible between you and your doctor.
So PocDoc is a mobile application. What it does is it allows you to track your daily health habits. It allows you to schedule doctor's appointments through the app and ask your doctor questions through an engaging messaging service. It also has a feed that shows you relevant medical news and announcements from your provider. And it also connects to your insurance so you can see how much a doctor's office visit will cost you before you go. You can also schedule appointments through the comfort of your living room and answer waiting room questions there as well.
So our goals are to increase efficiency for both the doctor and the patient, okay? So not only will this store useful medical information for the healthcare provider and the consumer, but it will also be very relevant and you will be able to have daily engagement with this app. By doing this, users will be able to share their medical records with they'll always know where their medical records are, they'll always have all that information that they need. Lastly, this will bring very valuable insight into the doctor's decision making so they'll be able to then diagnose their diagnosis.
So we all forget things, we all have a lot of medicine, whether or not it's what sleep medicine keeps you up at night or what birth control made you nauseous for an entire week. The app stores all that information so your doctor won't ask you to remember what that medication was called.
I know what you're thinking. With all this valuable information stored on an app, how can I ensure that it's safe? Well, we thought of that. PocDoc has two-factor authentication, private servers, and 256-bit encryption, so your information stays secure between you and your providers.
The social feed will provide user information, including push notifications. It will also tell you when to schedule your appointments and any kind of different things that the doctor's office would want you to know. All this is able to help you out, and this is why PocDoc is the best possible solution.
So you're probably wondering who's going to pay for this, is it profitable, and is it scalable?
Well, for PocDoc, we plan to generate revenue with a subscription-based pricing model. Doctors' offices will sign up for our service and pay an annual subscription fee of $3,720 for access to our system. We expect to reach our break-even at 192 doctors' offices, which we expect to hit in Q2 of year 3. After that point, any additional doctors' offices that we sell to will generate profit. The beauty of PocDoc lies in its scalability, where significant growth does not come with equally significant costs. After surpassing 192 doctors' offices and reaching our break-even, we expect that having an established active user base will encourage more providers to sign up at an increased rate. This will allow us to scale PocDoc quickly while generating excess amounts of cash that can be used for future development and costs. At 400 doctors' offices, we expect to end year 3 with a surplus of approximately $387,000.
So PocDoc helps you keep up with your current and past health status. It helps you schedule appointment and answer tough questions before the appointment, which helps foster a transparent relationship between you and your doctor.
PocDoc. Less waiting, more living.
Question.
So are there any questions?
Could you go a little more into the direct costs associated with it?
Yeah, of course. So basically, we are creating a mobile platform where there's not many associated costs when we're talking about building expenses or any of that stuff. Most of our majority of costs are going to come from a software developer salary and maybe a designer salary. And then marketing costs are going to be our biggest in sales, because we're going to have to definitely get out to offices and be face-to-face and meet with providers and explain to them why they need this technology in their office.
The nice thing also about our costs, like there are a lot clearly, but a lot of them are one-time costs and a lot of them are also fixed costs. So it's gonna stay the same cost annually, even if it's not a one-time cost, but the number of doctors' offices are gonna grow. So we're gonna have a bigger revenue while keeping costs relatively the same, which will create a larger profit.
And is it up to the doctor's office to market it to the patients?
Yeah, we definitely envision maybe a placard or something in the waiting room to where the doctor's office can explain, you know, this is our new system that we're using. They can get their provider, their patients linked up with it.
So like my healthcare provider, they already have something called My Patient Portal that like lets me communicate with my doctor and like releases all my results to me and like includes commentary on everything and like breaks down my billing for me. So my question is, if you were like pitching this to a healthcare provider, how would you differentiate from something like that?
So I think the biggest thing that differentiates us is the health tracking information that we get to incorporate into the app. So that's your daily health habits. We can link to not only this application, but other applications that maybe you might already be using, and also wearable devices. So that just becomes another layer of engagement for the user on a daily basis that they can upload, and also another useful tool for the doctor in diagnosing and analyzing your daily health habits.
I also think that my doctor has the My Health Portal, and there's a lot of things that are really great about it, but a lot of it is like reactive, where this is more proactive. So it's like before you go, you can answer questions before you go, you know how much it costs, rather than after you're like getting late with a bill, and there's not much you can do maybe to prepare for that. That's just like another, maybe a more competitive advantage than the portals that exist right now.
Can you explain to me how this helps cut your waiting time? Like, I get that it has all of your stuff in one place, but if there's already like a portal that does that and we're still waiting a long time, how does this help cut that waiting time?
Right, so we've also included a feature where we have a way to answer your preliminary visit questions. So those forms that you fill out in the waiting room beforehand, and also those questions that you answer when you go back into the exam room to maybe the nurse. Those questions will already be filled out and available to the doctor, so that as soon as you walk into the doctor's office, you can go back to the exam room, see your doctor, and get everything taken care of without having to repeatedly answer those questions and talk about your medical history. They'll already have it on file because it's built into your health profile.
We obviously can't control like if the doctor is just being slow or doing something like that, like we can't do that. But if all the patients in the doctor's office are using this app, then everyone else will also be answering these questions before too, which will make the entire office itself more efficient, which is a big selling point for the office and for the patients that have gone to the office.